Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com. Today's topic, Gabriel, for nothing will be impossible with God. And that's Gabriel's quote to the Virgin Mary. And that's out of Luke 1 is what's being quoted here. So scripture references out of Luke 1 verse 36, and behold, your relative Elizabeth in her old age has also conceived a son. And this is the 6th month with her who was called barren. Now, Gabriel knows that Elizabeth and Mary are related family. And imagine being Mary, this being knows a lot about her circumstances, including who her relatives are. So what relation is Mary to Elizabeth? Now, the Greek word for relative is sugenes, and the term is defined or translated as a relation, a relative, or kinsman by multiple concordances. Now, the King James is the only translation that utilizes the term cousin, which may not be accurate. All other translations, and even the King James Version, typically uses the term relative or kinsman in the 12 times the term sugenes is used in the New Testament. So we don't know specifically the exact relation of Elizabeth and Mary, but we do know they are related. The two women have a history and they do know each other, and we get that from Luke 1 verses 39 through 40. In those days, Mary arose and went with haste into the hill country to a town in Judah. And she entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. So we're going to take a look at Elizabeth. She's described as being in old age and barren. Old age, geros, or old. And it's the only time the term's used in the New Testament. In English, we get the word geriatric from the Greek term. Elizabeth is also, quote, barren or steros, and the translators are kind. The word sterile could also apply. So in other words, Elizabeth is a sterile old geriatric woman. So she's not supposed to get pregnant is the idea. And Zechariah is no spring chicken himself, and he knows he's old too. And he makes the quote in Luke 1, verse 18, and Zechariah said to the angel, which is also Gabriel, we're going to take a look at this later, how shall I know this? For I'm an old man, and my wife is advanced in years. So, and it's not the first time God has had a geriatric woman getting pregnant and giving birth. We can go back to Genesis 17, verses 15 through 19, and God said to Abraham, as for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall become nations. Kings of peoples shall come from her. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said to himself, shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? And Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. God said, no, but Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his offspring after him. So, even in unbelief, Abraham's not too sure about it. Sarah ends up laughing at God when he says something. God still blesses both of them. They have a child. It's named Isaac. And, that's part of the line of Christ. Take a look at Luke 1, verse 38. And Mary said, behold, I am the servant of the Lord. Let it be to me according to your word. And the angel departed from her. So ultimately, Mary responds to the grace afforded to her by Gabriel. She believes God's messenger, and she chooses to tell Gabriel, behold. So she's turned the tables on Gabriel. If you remember earlier, Gabriel told Mary, behold. Well, now she's telling Gabriel, hey, you pay attention. Pay attention to me, Gabriel. You listen. Mary proclaims to be a servant or a doule. And this is the female slave or bondservant. She is submitting her will to God and his plan. She is choosing to be a slave to God. And Mary is asking for Gabriel's message to become her reality. Let it be to me according to your word. And Gabriel finds Mary believable, and the angel departed from her. So, This continues with a series on angels, and you can find that here and under categories, angels. Click on angels. We have about 10, 15 posts or more put up under this topic at this point. And if you enjoy this, you can type in your email address in this area. You are following the blog. Sometimes there's a gray box. Sometimes there isn't. Type your email name, address in there, and you'll receive notification every time we put up a post. So appreciate you guys following along. If you enjoy this, please feel free to share with others. Paul the Poke, Prophecy Watch, Bible Study. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.